This is Meteorologist Matthew East, and thank you for clicking on to today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. And boy, what a brutal shot of Arctic air that's plunging our way. Let's start off with the weather map. This morning, we have an area of low pressure over parts of Iowa and Missouri, and all that precip you see there is snow that's flying in parts of the Midwest. And they've already got a lot of snow on the ground up that way, so this is adding insult to injury for those folks. There's a look at the watch and warning and advisory map this morning. All the counties in yellow, all the way from parts of Minnesota and Iowa on through Ohio and even into the mountains of West Virginia and southwestern Pennsylvania. Those are winter weather advisories, and a winter storm warning has been hoisted up into parts of Ohio with this. So another significant snowstorm up that way. Now the big story for our area over the next few days is going to be brutally cold air. Right now that cold air is pushing its way into the northern part of the United States, and what will happen is as that little clipper low pressure scoots off to the east, it's going to allow all that Arctic air to pour into much of the eastern part of the country over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now let me flip over to the GFS model, and let me go ahead and say, as we get into the weekend and early next week, I think the GFS is as lost as a duck in a hailstorm. I don't think it has a clue with what's going on overall with how things evolve. I think the European doing a much better job. I'll talk about that here in just a second. But for today, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, there goes the clipper low pressure in Indiana. That is all snow you see there on the precip output in the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes region. Today, we'll see a lot of sunshine, our high temperatures in the low to mid-40s. Snow breaks out in the mountains of North Carolina up through the mountains of the Virginias. Tonight, will be a nice accumulating snow, especially up in the mountains of the Virginias with this. And here comes the cold air. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, that Arctic air is pouring on in here. Tomorrow, a day that we'll see high temperatures in the 30s. And probably temperatures dropping as we get later on in the afternoon. It'll be a blustery day, wind chill values in the 20s at best all day, so a very cold day for tomorrow, for Thursday, in spite of a lot of sunshine. But that is not as cold as we'll get. It gets even colder on Friday. Now let's talk about low temperatures. I think Friday morning, well down into the teens, probably a lot of mid-teens in the Piedmont for lows Friday morning. And then we don't get out of the 20s Friday afternoon. I have not changed my forecast number. Again, I forecasted for the Triad market this morning, and I have 27 again for that high temperature Friday, unchanged from yesterday. So we'll stay in the 20s, Charlotte, Triad, and Raleigh-Durham most likely on Friday. 20s for highs there, all across the Piedmont Friday. And then probably Friday night, the coldest night. It looks like winds will stay pretty light. We'll see the sky at least mostly clear. And that'll be when we dip down toward the lower teens in many spots, and I do think it's possible we could see some single-digit low temperatures in spots in the Piedmont Saturday morning, rather. So Saturday morning also another very, very cold morning, probably a little colder than Friday morning. And by the way, if you're wondering, up in the mountains, it's going to be brutal. There'll be some sub-zero low temperatures in many mountain spots Friday and Saturday morning, and up in the mountains of the West Virginia around Snowshoe, they probably for highs Friday will not make it above zero. So just a brutally cold blast of Arctic air. So that's the look Friday into Saturday. And let's skip ahead now to Sunday on the modeling, and here comes the next clipper. This is off again, the GFS. The European, much more pronounced with the clipper, and it has a more negative tilt to the trough as it swings into the eastern part of the United States and what's being indicated on the GFS. And so the GFS really certainly brings some snow showers to the mountains, but nothing to the Piedmont. The European's a different story, and I think the European has the right idea. We'll probably see that upper level energy pour in, a nice surface low pressure develops somewhere along the Carolina coast that then races northward. And this could be a nice snowstorm for parts of the New England states as we get into Monday. Now, what about our snow chances? I do think, and I continue to think, same thing I had in the forecast yesterday. I've still got the chance for some mainly light snow going Sunday, and I've now extended that chance for at least a little bit of snow into Monday as well. What about accumulation? Don't know. Just too soon to tell. Way too many features to try to resolve. But I do think there is at least a chance for a little bit of snow accumulation somewhere across the Piedmont Sunday into Monday. But where and how much and if it'll even happen at all, still questions I can't answer at this point. But certainly a lot of cold air and the chance at least for a bit, let me stress that, at least a bit of snow possible Sunday into Monday. We'll just have to see how that unfolds as we go through the next few days. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everyone have a wonderful day. Get that firewood ready as that cold air arrives tomorrow. Have a great day and God bless.